Okay, we are live now, so interpreters, if you will begin.
Thank you. Hola, buenas tardes. En unos momentos estaremos comenzando con la interpretación esta tarde. Así que, padres, les pido que por favor, para poder escuchar la reunión en español, pasen en la parte baja de su pantalla, seleccionen el icono del mundo. Al seleccionar el icono del mundo, podrán elegir el idioma español. Si por algún motivo tienen dificultades para escuchar la interpretación, regresen al idioma inglés, después regresen nuevamente al español. Si por algún motivo tienen dificultades, déjenos saber en la cajita de chat. Gracias. Okay, I'm ready, Ms. Bell.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the community meeting today for H.I. Holland Elementary School Bond 2015. We look forward to your participation. If you have questions, please submit them on Facebook in the comments if you're joining us through Facebook. Or if you're on our broadcast channel, you'll find a form that you can log into and submit any questions at www.dallasisd Bond 2015 meetings. Again, that's Dallas ISD Bond 2015 meetings. So thank you so much. And with that, we will begin our meeting.
Greetings, Holland School community. It is with such great pleasure that we are here tonight to discuss an exciting opportunity and time for our campus. We are joined tonight with the Bond Office Project Team, which is led by the new Deputy Chief of Construction Services, Mr. Brent Alfred. Just want to give you all an opportunity to see a design that we have for a design that has been created for the campus that will bring a new, fresh, vibrant view to the building and to our school community. We've had some exciting things going on, even in the midst of the pandemic. I would like to first personally just say happy Counselor Week to our amazing counselor, Counselor Johnson, who works hard each and every day for our scholars and school community. I'm also joined here this evening by the amazing Executive Director, Lisa Curry, and my leadership team. Without further ado, I would now introduce to you our amazing trustee, Trustee Maxie Johnson, who is truly a warrior for our campus and school community. He fights the fight on a daily basis to ensure equity our students are afforded equity throughout our school community. Again, I introduce to you Trustee Maxie Johnson.
Trustee, we are having a little technical difficulties. We can't hear you. Can you make sure that you're not on mute?
Ms. Bell, would you like for me to go ahead and transition to Mr. Broughton, and maybe we can come back to Trustee Johnson?
Yes, thank you so much.
I introduce to you Mr. Durbin Broughton, who is from KAI. He will be presenting the design project for Holland this evening. He also has his team with him as well. Mr. Broughton.
Thank you, Ms. McDonald. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Our team is very, very excited about this project at H.I. Holland Elementary School at Lisbon. And just for brief introductions from KAI, we have represented along with myself, I'm Darren L. James, who's the president of KAI. In addition, we have Rain Jackson, who is our project architect, and Ms. Sonia Zillick, who's our interior designer. We are excited again about this project, and we want to just take a few minutes to walk you through the overall scope. So I'll be sharing my screen with you here, and we will begin our presentation.
I'm sorry if y'all heard my conversation. We got a big problem over here at one of my schools. And most of everybody know this phone. I don't play no games when it comes to my. So I'm sorry, brother Derwin.
That's all right. Trustee Johnson, did you have anything else to say before we started?
No, I'm just glad to be that everyone is on call. It's been one of those days. So I apologize, but uh, safety is first for all of my kids. It's just I had COVID and I almost died from it. God bless me to live. So everyone knows that COVID is a very serious situation. So that's what I'm dealing with. But I'm glad that H.I. Holland and the principal and all the parents and everybody that's on the call. If you do not know me, I'm a fighter for my community. And so if you heard anything, you heard me fighting for my kids in my community. But that's why we're here today, because I want to make sure that the community was involved, that the principal had 100% input along with our parents, because I believe this is going to be a great school. And if you want something that you want to happen, please let your voice be heard. And I don't do no's, so we'll find a way to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee. And we'll move forward into our presentation. When we start any project, we always want to start with a statement that embraces the overall design of the project. And for this particular project, we have selected a Lion Reborn. So if we want to preserve the history with innovative design techniques and vibrant colors that spark motivation, inspiration, and bring excitement to the learning experience. This is all about the kids. This is all about creating a great and learning environment for the overall campus. In regard to the project scope for H.I. Holland at Lisbon includes a new security vestibule, administrative office expansion and renovation, kitchen expansion and cafeteria renovations, new interior finishes, a roof replacement, lighting upgrades, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning upgrades, and an elevator replacement. So an overview of the scope. So this building, the H.I. Holland at Lisbon building, the original building was built in the early 40s. And I would just have to say it is a very, very beautiful building. A lot of the original fixtures are there. A lot of the original teachers' cabinets are there. It has a really unique character to it that we really wanted to build upon that. So on the first floor plan on Area A, which is really the historic building that sits in the center of your campus, is a 2-story to 3-story building. We're looking to provide some new graphics and branding in some very key and strategic places in the facility. We want to provide a new entrance, and we provide a new security entrance that brings you into the building and brings you into an expanded administrative office wing. We're going to introduce some color into the corridors with some painting of the existing lockers and provide some accent paint in the classrooms as well, in addition to refreshing all those finishes in the classrooms. And moving to the second floor plan of that same space. The scope there is very similar to the first, is that we're going to refresh the classrooms. We're going to provide some branding and graphics in the stairwells. In addition, the tower that is on the very, very corner of your auditorium has some windows or glazings in it that we're going to replace, but we really want that tower to be a beacon for the community. So we're going to add some backlight to that and have a lot of that to glow in the evening. So again, just to be able to mark that H.I. Holland is here. So one of the things that we want to get some feedback from the community on, and you can provide this in the chat, and we'll also provide, DISD will post this on their website, so you can provide some feedback on this as well, is that in the stairwells, we're going to be providing some new pendant light fixtures, and there's 2 that we're looking at that we'd love to get your feedback on. There's pendant A, which is sort of round circular pendant that we're looking at for the stairwells, and pendant B is a little bit more organic, and would really, really love your feedback on these particular light fixtures and to see which one is the best fit for the facility. And you can provide those in the chat, and they will also be posted on the website for you to provide your feedback as well. And I will allow you a few minutes to take a view of that, and then we'll move forward. So on our ground floor, which is where your existing cafeteria and kitchen are, we're looking at expanding that particular portion of the building. We're providing a brand new kitchen addition, which will provide all the heating and cooking instruments and space that you need to serve this campus well. And we're looking to reclaim some of the existing space in the cafeteria to be able to expand those lunch areas and hopefully reduce the number of lunches that they have. We're going to refresh all the finishes in there. We're going to provide some branding in that area as well, and continue to provide a space that's exciting, where we'll provide new ceilings, there was some accent clouds in that particular area, but really provide an environment to where the kids can kind of refresh and relax during lunch and get ready for the second half of the day. And moving forward, I'm going to pass it over to Sonia, who's our interior designer, and she's going to talk a little bit about the interiors and the finishes in the overall campus. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Sonia.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be part of this meeting tonight. So as Derwin had mentioned, our concept is truly based on the Lion Reborn statement. And one of the ways that we're doing that, actually, it's trickled down throughout the whole project, is through bringing vibrancy in color. Here you can see a few inspirational images that we have taken and applied to the school in such a way that is both applicable to the children and keeping the adults in mind who are working in the school. You can go next, Darren. In this floor plan here, it's a floor plan diagram that shows you the simplicity of how we can turn a space to have a clean floor with some new carpeting in the administration area. And upon entering the space, which you will see later, it brings a very warm and inviting space as well, right where the mouse cursor is that Derwin is pointing to. And we will carry the same floor throughout. This is a very nice, durable floor, and we feel that it will be very successful. Okay, we can go next. So this is the space that I was referring to. Upon entering the school, we really wanted to put an impact in the sense that we want students to want to feel that they belong there. We want them to feel that they want to be there. So you are greeted with a legacy tree. And this legacy tree is comprised of handprints of the children that go to the school. And you can see it has various colors. And these colors are carried throughout the school, which again reiterates the vibrancy that the school will bring. And on the right-hand side, you have some seating areas and where you can interact with, whether it's with the parents or the students, you can utilize it to your advantage. And one more thing I wanted to add is that the legacy tree wall is an interactive wall that would slide to the left where it has a marker board in the back, so that when you have events, you have something that you can pin up on or write on, and whatever it is else that you desire. And to the left is the entrance to the new admin area. You can go next. So this is our corridor. What I wanted to do here is utilize what we have. So treating these lockers as blank canvases allowed us to really dress them up with color. It's very easy to do with paint. And as you go down the corridor, you're treated with different and greeted with different colors as you go down the hall, really allowing the floor and the ceiling to kind of stay neutral, and then bringing pops of color into the corridors. And this will be carried throughout. On the right-hand side where you see welcome back, this is where the admin center used to be, but we wanted to repurpose that and provide a display case for the school. Go next. Next up, we wanted to show you a few ways that we can graphically show the lion for the school. Option A is stylized and very sort of conceptual. Option B is more playful, and option C turns more realistic. So we wanted to get your opinion on whether you prefer stylized, playful, or realistic for the school, and how you feel and what you see these lines do for the school. So I'm going to give it a minute for you guys to take a look at this. And I think we can go next. So second floor, again, is a repeat of level 1, but you will see the same pattern of these lockers that will be accented with different paint colors. And you will see a whole board at the bottom of the presentation of what the overall color palette will look like. Going. So the cafeteria. The cafeteria is a place for recharging your batteries, a whimsical space that provides both color and pattern in the floor, along with a cloud ceiling that emulates clouds. And we wanted the children to have a space where they feel uplifted and cheery and then go back to their classes. Okay, next. And here you can see what that can look like. What's really fun about this space is that the different colors in the floor will let the kids pick and choose what they want to step on. I mean, I've mentioned to a few people before, when I was a kid, I always looked for that pattern on the floor that I'd like to hop back and forth on and make a little pattern for myself. So I thought that this would be a fun way of bringing that here. All right, next. And this is the overall color board that I wanted to go over. You can see that we are bringing both earth tones and tons of vibrant colors to tie us back into the Lion Reborn, because we are creating a legacy here, and we want, well, the children are creating your legacy, really. So that's what we wanted out of the school for you guys. And next. So I will turn it back over to Derwin, and I appreciate your time. Thank you, guys.
So as far as what the improvements or the expansions to the building will look like, of course, this is the student entrance into the school off of Paducah. To your left is the building, the 1940s building, and to your right here is the library that was added in the late 90s. But we're looking to really reinvigorate and refresh this particular area. So this is an artistic rendering of the new expansion, which includes expanded administrative offices, a new secured vestibule, a new drop-off canopy, a plaza, for an area for the kids to stage in the mornings and the afternoons. We're going to try to preserve those existing trees and moving the flagpoles to the front of the building. So when you approach the school on Lancaster and you hit Paducah, what we want you to immediately realize from an architectural standpoint, from a visual standpoint, that this is indeed the front entrance into the building. And we want it to be easily identifiable. We want to respect the existing building. So we have selected colors and materials that are compatible with the existing building, but not necessarily to emulate it, but we are trying to really work with it. We're really excited about the opportunity here to really create a new brand and identity for the school, while yet still respecting the rich and unique legacy it has within this community. And this is an existing shot of what the building looks like adjacent to the cafeteria and auditorium. And one of the challenges that when we first visited the site that we realized was that the cafeteria is on the lower level, and the staff has a tremendous time, bringing in supplies. That they go down a set of steps. There's no ramp. The custodial staff has to bring large bins of trash up a set of steps, and we really wanted to try to resolve those issues in addition to providing the additional space that they needed. So this is a rendering of that new kitchen addition. So the kitchen is in this pretty much this brand new structure. The cafeteria stays where it is in the existing building. And again, bringing in those rich colors, we're picking up colors from off the existing windows and the golds from off the existing building, and creating a new loading dock and area for the staff to really have the area and the space they need in order to really serve and function the way they need to function. But we're really excited about this opportunity. There's parking immediately to the left, so when you have large PTA events or large back to school events, that the parking is immediately adjacent to the cafeteria and auditorium and convenes to the parents and to the visitors from those large assembly standpoints. So really try to address a number of things as we look forward to this. And that concludes our presentation for the evening. We are here to answer any questions you may have. But we thank you for this opportunity and look forward to your questions.
Yes, I have a question. When will we get with the community so they can help design like a charrette? I see what was put together, but there was no input from my principal, from my community, like PTA and all that. So I see what you have designed, but I want this to be like a charrette, and that's what kind of what I was expecting today.
Yes, sir, Trustee Johnson. This was presented as a community meeting. I'm going to ask Chief Alfred to kind of step in and give a little bit more clarity on that item as well.
Yes, Brother Alfred. Can we get a charrette? Because again, this is a nice way of telling the community what they're gonna get without their input. That's not what I was expecting. I want my principal and my parents and community members, even my children, to be a part of the design and what's gonna go in it, and etc. I could have called a community meeting myself.
Okay, I thought on the slide we saw options to select certain areas. Like there was a slide about the lions and stylized. I thought that was the part the community would engage and help kind of guide KI to the direction they wanted to go.
You know that the one when they first opened up when they had the lion to the left.
Yeah, Darwin, can you share the screen again, or whoever was sharing the PowerPoint? There's some options in there because a lot of the walls are getting different graphics, and they really wanted the community to engage tonight to say, hey, we want it here, this type of graphic here, or even choose the location. And maybe we went over that part a little too quickly, but if we could bring that slide back up, and maybe we can get some community input on that.
Okay, and while they're getting that, can there be an additional renovations? Who set the priorities for the building additions and renovations to the building?
I don't know. Derwin, can you chime in with what they gave you in the beginning? Usually it's driven from the assessment, but like I said, I'm not sure the whole history of this particular campus, but typically it's the assessment we would provide to architects, and they would have went and kind of validated that and come up with their design. But
yes, sir, Trustee Johnson. So we were given a list of priorities as far as that was defined as the scope. So we integrated that set list of deficiencies within the overall documents that we are developing. There were some additional items that we identified that we brought back to the district as well. So some of those were integrated as well, which we incorporated into this presentation.
When y'all did that, did y'all give it the principal or the community?
Yes, sir. We did meet with the principal, and we have not had any direct interaction with the community except through the principal. So all of our interactions have been with the principal directly, Trustee Johnson.
So who had input on that? For instance, the gym. I know that's still separate from the building. I think that don't need to be separate from the building, although it was. So who had input on that, i.e. the gym?
Yes, sir, and that's a very, very valid concern. I'm going to start, and then I'm going to ask Brent to step in. So that wasn't on the original assessment, but this is when we met with you a few weeks ago, something that definitely came up. And I know, Brent, we've talked about it a little bit offline, but I'll let you finish up.
Yeah, I walked the campus Friday, and I looked at it with the principal and our internal team, and we're trying to explore a solution for that one right now, but currently it's not part of the base project, but we do realize it's something that needs to happen. I probably need to talk with you more, Trustee, offline about how we achieve that and accomplish that.
Okay.
But here on this one, can we get feedback from the community to see which, if they care for any of these graphics or what options, they would prefer to see within the building? You got stylized and versus realistic type graphics here. I understand the mascot is a lion, but really want community input to see what direction the team needs to go in.
Is this the only options they have?
Right, these are the three presented. Yeah, I mean, but it can be anything. It's for conversation right now.
I think we need more options on the table before we just give them 3.
So Trustee Johnson, what the intent is that we want to get sort of a direction as far as where we're going to go. We're going to develop a set of graphics for you to choose from. So we want to narrow it down, but we're going to develop a whole slew of things that you're going to be able to present from. So this isn't the final, this is sort of like a style. Like, what do you prefer to see? But this isn't the final solution.
Okay, so maybe again, what was the expectation? Because maybe my expectation tonight was different from your expectation. My expectation was there's going to be more of a collaboration. We was going to be able to virtually maybe go into breakout rooms and, this look at the front of the building and design that, and then, like a real charrette kind of thing, just not in person, but virtual. So we have more input. It seemed like to me, we're just telling them what they're getting instead of seeing what they want to have. So that was my expectation. So was I wrong? Did I not communicate that? If I did not communicate that properly, then I apologize. I take the blame for that. But if so, it's because Principal McDonald, did I not communicate that, or was I not clear? Did I fail to do so?
Well, it was communicated that you did want input from the school, the students, faculty, staff, parents, all stakeholders on this, on the design for the campus. I did speak with the internal team when we took the walk on Friday, and in discussing it, we, was trying to pitch different ideas. I know when it came to the students, we discussed, me conducting a poll, showing the students the presentation and conducting polls there with the students and faculty and staff. So we brainstormed some ideas on what that would look like.
Okay, Chief Alfred, can we create a charrette plan more than a couple of, more than an hour, something that's kind of intentional, so our community can really come to the table with some of the things they want to see designed? When are we trying to get the work on here, on the building?
Who's got the pulse on the current schedule, Derwin or Katie?
Are they in phase 2 or phase 1?
This is, you talking about for 2020?
Yes, sir. This is 2015, right?
This is still 2015. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I got you. So, what's the time frame on it? The timeline on this?
Trustee Johnson, we have some flexibility in the overall time frame, and we wanted to make sure we had this meeting and got some feedback, so we can adjust the schedule accordingly to accommodate what we need to do here. So we have time.
Okay. I also want to. Do we have any representative of Dakita online?
Yeah, I see.
Yes, this is Walter Dansby. I'm here.
Hey, Brother Dance, how you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. Hey, can you work with me and Principal McDonald? I don't know if you met Principal McDonald. She's awesome. To try to connect with our community so we can set up some kind of charrette as the program manager and help me kind of facilitate this, so we can build an excitement that I think it deserves, because I think this is going to be an awesome thing.
We'll work with Mr. Alfred and yourself and do whatever needs to be done to make sure that we satisfy the needs of this community. So
thank you so much. So, Mr. Alfred, what is the timeline for this?
That's what right now, like I say, me, I'm pushing. I want to see it get done and on 2015. But hearing the feedback from the team, we do have some time. And unless you have a specific time you want to see it done, we're gonna work backwards from that.
No, I don't have a particular time. I do want to see it done. I want to really create that excitement and have strong community input. And I wanted to make sure it's done out of a racial equity lens as well, because we do know that certain part of town is getting a little bit more than what we get, and I want to make sure that we get all that we need over here for H.I. Holland. So, Principal McDonald, what's your vision, like as far as the charrette and trying to create something that we all can be a part of with the community? Do you think we can do that? You think we have some ideas that we can bring to the table, and Mr. Derwin could take our ideas and put it on pen or paper for us?
Most definitely, I think we can. I know they already incorporated one design with the tree with the handprints, and we discussed facilitating that with the art teacher so they can actually be our actual students' handprints on the wall. So we do have some opportunities where our students and faculty and staff, all stakeholders can chime in on this and give their input on what they would like to see on the campus as well. Honestly, when I looked at the design, I didn't actually design, as I stated in our previous meeting, but there were something, I really, I gave feedback. There was some things that had to be changed on the design. And so I was really, I'm really excited about the renovations that are actually going to happen on the campus. I do think with us trying to build agency and our scholars, I do think it would be really good for them to have input just so that they can have a feel of ownership when it comes to the designs on the campus. Most definitely, but I do feel like we can conduct that so that we can work together to see what, the school community wants as well.
Okay, good.
Okay, Trustee Johnson, if we
Yes.
could for a moment, we have a number of people who have joined us late on our Facebook feeds. Just so everyone could be on the same page and see what was presented, could we ask the architectural team to go back, run the slide one more time? And we did have some feedback on the lion as well from the polls on Facebook.
So we have Facebook audience.
Yes, sir, we do. We're going
Oh,
live on Facebook in both English and Spanish, as
hello,
well as
everybody.
live feed on our district, from our district website. And
So,
just so everyone
hello, everybody.
knows,
It's fine.
you can join us on Facebook. If you're visiting us on Facebook, then please show your comments in the comment section on Facebook for the feed, because we are monitoring the feed there and sharing those comments in the meeting. And if you're joining us via one of our broadcast channels through the Dallas ISD website, you can submit questions there using the link that's on that website. And that website again is dallasisd.org/bond 2015 meetings. And it's available in both Spanish and English. On Facebook, I have shared the link to the Spanish language simulcast. So we are broadcasting in both English and Spanish. And we do have a couple of questions on the Google Sheet as well. So if we can hold those questions and let's run the presentation again so everyone, and then we'll begin asking those questions that are coming in from our audience.
Thank you, Ms. Bill. Also, I have my racial equity appointee, Ms. Tony Johnson. She joined us tonight, so thank you, Tony, and also Mr. Marquise Hawkins. He's here as well. So thank you guys for both being here.
Okay, Derwin, thank you.
Okay, so again, pleasure to be here this evening. And give me one moment here. So before we start any project, of course, we always come with a concept statement or a vision for it. And this project is based upon a lion reborn. Of course, the mascot of the school is the lions, and we want to respect that. And we want to preserve history with innovative design techniques and vibrant colors that spark motivation, inspiration, and bring excitement to the learning experience. This is all about the kids, and that is the focal point of how we approach this. The project scope includes a new security vestibule, an administrative office expansion and renovation, kitchen expansion and cafeteria renovation, new interior finishes, our roof replacement, lighting upgrades, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning upgrades, and an elevator replacement. So we look at the original building, which was built in the early 40s. This is where we're going to concentrate the first part of our effort. And what we're doing in this particular part of the building is that we're providing some new graphics and branding in the corridors. And we're really looking at the front entrance and in the stairwells, looking to refresh the classrooms with new finishes, on the corridors with new finishes. The existing lockers, we're going to refinish with a bright, vibrant color and sort of inspirational color going down the corridors. We are going to provide, in the very right-hand side of this particular floor plan, is the administrative wing, that we're actually expanding the existing building and adding additional administrative space, in addition to creating a secure vestibule for the campus. On the second floor of this building as well is a very similar scope, providing that brand new elevator, new branding and graphics, some accent paint, refreshing these classrooms, and really bringing the building up into the this current century. Now, one of the things we really appreciate about the school and the facility is that it has been very well taken care of. Some of the original teachers' cabinets and millwork and some of the built-ins are original and they're in really good shape. And we want to refresh those and bring those up to the current standards. But there's a lot to work with because the school has a lot of really good bones. As we were speaking, and some of you joined the meeting a little bit late, but there are some things that we did want to get your feedback on. One of the things we wanted to do was in the stairwells is that we're providing some new pendant light fixtures. So those stairwells, they have really great views out to Lancaster Ave. So when people drive by, you get sort of hints and accents of the school going out. So there's a great opportunity for us to introduce some elements that you can see from the outside in. And these are two pendants that we're looking at in the stairwells that we'd love to get your feedback on. So you can provide us feedback in chats, or you can provide it. We'll also post this information on Dallas ISD website where you can actually provide your feedback at a later time as well in the coming week. On the ground floor is where the existing cafeteria is. When we first started the project, one of the challenges is that their kitchen was severely, or the kitchen of the school is severely undersized, and they really didn't have the space desired to prepare the meals. So we're providing a brand new kitchen addition and reclaiming that space for some of the support functions of the cafeteria and kitchen. What this also does is that currently you go into the cafeteria, there's coolers in the cafeteria. So this is some space that we're reclaiming that allows that kitchen or the cafeteria to be somewhat expanded without actually physically expanding it. We're reclaiming space that's being used for storage that can now be used for children to actually have lunch. And we're looking forward to really providing a new space for them that works and functions the way it should. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Sonia and let her talk about the interiors and finishes. And hopefully Sonia's still on.
Hi, I'm still here. Can't get rid of me that easy. All right, hi guys. So we're going to start off with some inspirational images that we envision for the school. Visiting the campus, the one thought that came to mind instantly was a vibrancy of the children. So we have taken some example install images to show you how this can be carried throughout your school by just doing some simple additions with color through paint and picking some accent features such as these lighting pendants that were mentioned at the stairs that can be visible from the exterior. One of the things that I also wanted to point out is the accent stair image as well as the accent color concept at lockers. This is just to show you how you can incorporate a large graphic at the stairs of the lion, and which you will see a little bit later, and then the accent paints in the corridor. We can go next. Dermot, if you don't mind pointing to the entry. Thank you. Upon entering the space, you are instantly greeted with a refresh of a floor finish. This being a historical building, you did used to have wood floor throughout. So we're carrying that throughout with a different floor that is also representative of wood. And you will also see new carpet in the admin area to the right-hand side of this floor plan. And we can go next. And this is a space that you see when you enter. Upon entering, you are instantly greeted with the legacy tree. Speaking of community earlier, this is the intent of incorporating the community by having the children of the school provide a handprint of different colors and have it integrated with this wall, which this wall is also interactive. The panel in the middle slides to the left, presenting you with a marker board that serves a purpose for when you have events early evenings or even during lunchtime, if that's the plan. You have seating opposite to that wall on the right-hand side, and you can stay engaged in that way, sit on the floor or sit on the bench. And you also have the entry to the admin space to your left-hand side. We can go next. When you enter the space, when you go down the corridor, we are utilizing and repurposing the lockers as blank canvases and taking the opportunity to place color on them, pretend that those are not lockers, but like I said, a blank canvas to introduce color. And this is just going back to reiterating our concept for the vibrancy, a reborn lion. Off to the right-hand side, you see a trickling effect of what becomes a graphic representation of a lion's head. That is just one way of doing this, in which you will see a slide later for a poll on the lion graphic. Where it says welcome back, that used to be the admin space that we are now turning into a display case. We wanted to repurpose sort of the same idea, but just now it is a display for the school's achievements. We can go next. And this is the poll that I was mentioning earlier. So options A, B, and C are truly there just to show you how a lion can be interpreted. Is just for interpretation purposes only. So option A is stylized, and that is a little bit more abstract. Option B is playful, where it's a little bit more geared towards a cartoon look. And then we have option C, which is more realistic representation of the lion. So again, these are just representations of how we can achieve the look of the lion for the school. Okay. And level 2 is just like level 1. We have a clean slate on the floor by providing the vibrancy of colors along the walls as you're walking down the space. It's always in your line of sight. Okay, next. And the cafeteria is a place that is truly whimsical, a place where the kids can recharge their batteries and get some food in their bellies. And this is also an opportunity, just kind of speaking to you guys, where we can use these accent colors in the floor and create a pattern that is suitable for the school. The options are endless. And in the next slide, you can see just one way of how that can be achieved. You can go, yes, thank you, Darwin. This is just one option. There are many ways that we can achieve this, but this is just to show you how the floor finish and the ceiling, they have a relationship between the two. You have a representation of a cloud image in the sky, and then you have a pattern on the floor that you can really use to your advantage in terms of how you want to bring visual interest to the space. And we're also utilizing we also wanted to bring some color to these columns, like really utilize every opportunity that we have. Next. This is an overall vision of the finishes and the colors that we felt was very, very welcoming for the school. It's just it just speaks how, you know, we can represent the spirit of the school and a lion reborn. It is a place for students to want to be there, a sense of belonging, you know. So that is the overall goal that we were trying to achieve here for you. All right, next. And I will turn it back over to Dervin if he's still here.
I'm still here. So just want to give you some visual images of what the building could possibly look like from the exterior. So of course, this is the student entrance, and this is where students are dropped off in the morning on Paducah. You know, there were some things that we had to work with here. We absolutely love this large oak tree that we're trying to preserve. The existing libraries to your right, and the 1940s building is to your left here in this particular image. But one of the things that we found when we came to campus is, where's the front door? So what we really want to do with this new addition is really, when you drive up on Lancaster Ave, is to be able to easily identify where the front door of the building is. So what we have done is create a very, very small addition that does a couple of things. This addition provides additional admin space, because admin doesn't have the space sufficient to function the way that they should or they need to, but also to provide a secure vestibule into the school with a drop-off canopy and a queuing line. One of the things we also did is we're creating a plaza space here, where there's space for the students to basically stage in the afternoons as they're being picked up or dropped off. But really wanted to create this new image for the school at the corner of Lancaster and Paducah that's easily identifiable, that respects the existing building as far as the history of it, but yet looks forward to sort of things that the school is looking forward to moving forward to. this is a view or existing image or camera shot from the corner of the building where the cafeteria is on the lower level and then the auditorium is immediately above it. One of the huge challenges that the school has or currently has is that loading in and out of the cafeteria is very difficult to go up a set of steps. So we want to address that in addition to provide the much needed kitchen space, expansion space they need. So our addition does that. We have created a brand new kitchen that's adjacent to it, and this particular addition does the same thing or similar to what the admin addition does. It respects sort of the existing building by bringing in some of those golds and tans of the bricks, and we're also trying to tie back into the accent colors of the windows. But we're putting all the functions of the kitchen within this particular addition, and then the cafeteria, as I mentioned before, is being sort of refreshed, and we're claiming some space in there to be able to accommodate additional students. But that is the end of our presentation. And Ms. Bell, I know that we have some additional questions that may be in the that you may want us to respond to. So I'll pause there and turn it back to you.
Thank you so much. Yes, we have a number of questions coming through both Facebook and through our Google Sheet. Once again, if you have a question regarding the changes that you're seeing at H.I. Holland Elementary School in Oak Cliff, you can, if you're joining us on Facebook, please feel free to put your comments. We are going to address your comments in the order they're received, or you can submit a question using our Google Sheet now and following the meeting. And that Google input sheet is located at dallasisd.org/bond 2015 questions. It's dallasisd.org, bond, BOND 2015 questions. So coming from the Google Sheet, we have one. I'm the current campus nurse and would like to know more about the new clinic space. Derek, can someone on the design team answer that question?
Yes, ma'am, I can. So one of the things that I may have glossed over when we were going through the floor plans is part of that admin addition, we are providing a brand new clinic space within the existing footprint as well. So it is designed to the educational specifications for an elementary school clinic. So yes, you are getting a new space that's being reclaimed within the existing building, but it will be basically in effect a brand new space.
Okay. And you requested input on both that lion design, and right now the overwhelming favorite is the stylized A lion is coming through via our Facebook. That was very popular with everyone. In fact, it was the only choice for our person, for everyone who made a choice. Coming from Ruth M on Facebook, will all these renovations, with all these renovations, will the portables be replaced?
I'm going to start. We currently don't have plans in the in our renovation project to replace the portables, but I'm not aware of the overall long range plans of the district. So again, I will turn that back over to Chief Alfred.
No, there's not a planned addition to remove those portables in the 2020.
Okay. Now we do have another question. A couple of them are going together here, so I'm going to try to combine them from Shauna and also from Shauna Johnson and Miss Tony Johnson. Shauna Johnson was agreeing with Trustee Johnson's comments about the input for the community. Her quote, and I quote, is there is an active PTO, neighborhood association, and community leaders who would like to be able to provide input. And Miss Tony Johnson made a comment here. Let me pull hers up. She asked the questions: did were there any community meetings held for this prior to the design being put together, so you could have input on the historical building? If so, when were those meetings held and who was involved? And is this information been shared? So I will let. I'm not sure if Chief Alfred or Derwin, if either one of you want to register for those two comments.
Yes, ma'am. So this is the first community meeting for this particular project, but we are looking forward to your input. We know how important the community is to this, or the school is to this community, and we will definitely take the time it takes to get your feedback on this. We want to integrate the community and the students into the overall design process. We've thought about some ways of doing that thus far, but we're looking for some additional opportunities as well. So This has been sort of a trying time with COVID and trying to schedule meetings, but we're ready to be mobile and adapt and pivot to do what it takes in order to get this done. So.
And coming again from Facebook, teachers in a text message group are saying that they love line A and they like the bright colors. And to the poll on the light fixture, looking at these polls, the overwhelming favorite with the light fixture was also option A. So thus coming from our Facebook participants. We have a couple more questions here submitted by our Google form. One is, will every classroom and office have windows that will open? Will the big windows that give the classroom so much natural light be left in place?
So we are not impacting the windows in this particular building. Those windows were replaced in a previous bond package. And what we are doing is that we are in the art classroom, which is currently behind the auditorium. We're actually relocating the art classroom to where the music room is. We're basically flipping the two, but we're going to provide some natural light into that new art room, which doesn't have any, is windows list. But so where we have opportunities to bring some natural light in, we will. And hopefully I answered the entire question. I know it was kind of a loaded question, but no, we aren't replacing any existing windows, and any of the windows that were operable will remain operable as they currently are.
Okay. So does that mean, just for clarity, that means that those windows who are inoperable will remain inoperable as well?
Yes, ma'am. We're not altering or changing any of those existing windows.
Okay. There's another question from our Google form from our community. It says, if the portable buildings are not being replaced, will they be renovated?
In this current project, they're not slated to be renovated. No, ma'am.
Okay.
How much
We have
money
another
will-
question regarding the community's input, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase this and combine it because we have a couple of questions coming through in this matter. They're asking, how was a design developed without the community input at this point? Since you said that there had been no community input at this particular time. So,
Yes, ma'am. So that's a very, very fair question. So when we're brought on board to start a project, what we utilize is the technical design guidelines and the educational specifications. So as a design firm, we use that for our basis of design for how we approach the design. Now, we do meet with the principals in order to get feedback on that particular aspect, which we've had a couple of meetings with the principal. But we base our designs based upon, and this is the spatial layout, the space requirements is based upon the established requirements as established by Dallas ISD. Now, as far as any additional requirements, as far as from the community, it's these meetings like this to where those concerns come out. So most definitely, we're here to listen and to gauge that feedback and integrate moving forward.
I think what the community is asking for, and I'm gonna interject right here. Number one, my principal did not have a lot of input on this process. Neither did the community have it. Probably not even 3% of input. So this meeting was requested because for those that's listening in District 5, those that know me, I thought this would be similar to a charrette where the community would be able to do breakout sessions and breakout rooms, and we kind of design and have some kind of forum, or if you will, or classroom setting where we can collaborate with our ideas and etc. So that's a little different than tonight. But we're going to make sure that the community does have major input in this project, because I want to bring the excitement that it deserves to District 5 concerning H.I. Holland. Also, if we have to fix the design or redesign it where the community to what the community like, and I would love to do that, especially put some things inside from an equity lens. But I want to make sure that Principal McDonald and the site-based decision-making committee and the PTA and those community stakeholders and even some alumni will want to be a part of our virtual. I want to call it. I want to do a 3-day charrette because that's what I'm used to doing. That's what we did before in our feeder pattern. So that's what I'm gonna advocate for, and get more community input. Thank you, Ms. Bell.
yes, and we do have a question. I'm going to ask, a question came in from Ms. Davis on Facebook, and I'm not sure of the nature of your question. If you could please write a comment and clarify it, so we can make sure we get your question answered as well. And we do have a number of community members who are voicing their support for Trustee Johnson's approach as far as getting community input on the design and the needs of the building as well. Again, if you have a question, you're joining us on Facebook. We're just about out of time now, but if you have any additional questions, and you're on Facebook, please put them in the comment section. We will answer them before we close out. And if not, we are going to leave the comment form open on our website at www.dallasisd.org/bond 2015 questions. We're going to leave that open for the rest of the week, and we will be placing the presentation on the website as well, so that the community can share and have input on any questions and ask any questions. And we will get back with you on those questions as well. So let's see if we have anything else coming through. I think right now we've wrapped up pretty much our questions. So I don't know, Trustee Johnson, if you want to have closing remarks, and then I don't know if perhaps Chief Alfred would like to have remarks, and then we'll close out with the principal.
Sure. I want to thank KAI for their expertise, because they're very familiar. They're no stranger to the District 5 community. And so I want to thank Brother Darren James and Brother Derwin for their professionalism and experience that they bring to the table. I also want to thank Dallas ISD for the opportunity to get some things done in District 5 HI Highland. What we're going to do, we're going to create a strong community input. We have a wonderful, wonderful principal and a wonderful staff, Principal McDonald. And so we want to make sure that we embrace her, embrace the community, embrace the teachers, and get everything that we want and desire to happen with this project. We're going to do it from a racial equity lens. That's all you have, Ms. Tony Johnson, my racial equity. You'll see her in a lot of the meetings. Some you'll see her even in some that I'm not able to attend, because if she's there, then I'm there. And she knows the heartbeat that I have for my community in District 5 in Oak Cliff. So we got a lot of work to do, and I want to just thank everybody. But those that are listening on Facebook know that we're going to definitely include you in this project, not just the adults, but our children, because we have highly intelligent children, and they know what they love and want, and this is going to be their school. So we want them to have pride in saying that, hey, I helped design HI Holland. So I'm excited about that, and thank you for this opportunity again. And
Chief Alfred, would you like to make any?
Thank you to Dakita as well, our program manager. Again, they're no strangers as well. They do a lot of work in District 5, and we welcome them and their experience as well. Thank you.
Okay, Chief Alfred, if you would like to make any closing remarks.
No, I'm excited about this project. Excited to be working with Trustee Johnson and some other familiar faces I see out here in the community, and KI, Dakita. So, appreciate it, and looking forward to a very collaborative project. So, thank you.
Before the principal comes back and gives her closing remarks, we do want to remind you, you can submit additional questions at www.bond2015meetings. Again, that's www.dallasisd.org/BOND2015 meetings. The form will remain open for the rest of the week. So, Principal, if you would close us out, that'd be great.
I just want to thank everyone, Trustee Johnson, for his support in ensuring that equity is alive and well in our school community. Thank you to KAI for the awesome design that you have together. I do look forward to working collaboratively with all stakeholders to ensure that we have a campus that embodies the community and is a true light. They spoke about the beacon of light. For the community, I look forward to the work that will come. Collaboration is a new skill set that we are truly trying to build within our scholars on a much deeper level. So I look forward to them being able to have a part in this process as well. Thank you everyone for coming out this evening. And again, I look forward to working with everyone on this project. Again, thank you, Trustee Johnson, for your support.
Thank you.
With that, we are closing tonight's meeting. Thank you so much. And you feel free to share the link on Facebook so that others can have their input as well. Have a great evening. Good night.